Welcome to this lecture. So now let's get to the actual H1 heading that the header holds. That is the heading that says tic-tac-toe game. I want to design it separately and give it font sizes, colors, etc. So let me select it first. As you can see here in this HTML file, you can see that there are two different headings. Okay, so one of those is for the tic-tac-toe game heading tag and the other is the result heading. So how would we select them separately since we want to give them separate designs? It's actually pretty simple. Do you see the IDs in here? So this has the ID head, this has the ID result. IDs are unique to a HTML file or a web document, whatever you want to call it. That is, only one element can have an ID. So only this particular heading tag can have the ID head. No other tag can have the same ID. So we can use the IDs to select particular elements even if they are of the same type. So to select the element with an ID, let's go back to the style.css and you can use a pound sign like this and specify the ID. So the ID in our case is head, and then open and close curly braces just like usual. So you can do it like this, or you can include the type of the element before the pound sign like this. This is the H1 tag and with an ID head. Okay, so both work the same. You can specify the type of the element before the ID though to make it easier for you when you look at the code later. So usually programmers don't really use this particular format. They just stick to the pound and ID format because it's easier, but you can choose whatever format you want. Okay, now I'm going to give the header a font size of 50 pixels. So to do that, I can say font size. So I can use this attribute font hyphen size and specify 50 px. If you don't include the px in here, your browser won't know that it's a pixel format. Okay, so it won't give the proper size. So always include the pixels if it's a pixel value. Okay, so also I'm going to give it a font family like this. So the font family property and the value is going to be cursive. So I want cursive text for the heading. And then finally the text color is going to be cornflower blue. So to include the text color, I'll have to give the attribute color. So that means text color. If you see here, background color was background hyphen color. So for text color, it's just color. And then I can give the color cornflower blue. There you go. Let's look at how it looks now. Before that, let me just save the file and then let's go back. Okay, so we have a very good heading that looks pretty much exactly like this heading. Okay. Alright, so let's get back to it. So for the next part, we're going to design the result heading. So this result heading is not yet visible because they haven't written the JavaScript code that will write the result to the heading tag. So right now it has nothing. As you can see here, there is nothing between this heading tag. But let me still design it so you can see how it looks once we finish the whole app along with the JavaScript parts. Okay, so first let me select the element. So you can select it like H1 pound result or just pound result. And then I'm going to give it a font size of 30 pixels this time, because it has to be a bit smaller than the main heading. And then I'm going to give the font family as Verdana. And then I'm going to give it a text color of, let's say, chocolate. Okay. So finally, I'm going to align the text to the center as usual. That's it. Okay, I have one more thing left. So that's the margins. We already specified an overall margin for the header right here, right? So that specifies the top, left, bottom, and the right margins of the header element. So in that case, there is already 50 pixels of space between the header and the results. Okay, so I don't have to bother with the top margin for the results heading, but I still need to give a bottom margin to separate it from the game area and the result heading. So let me give a bottom margin. To give the bottom margin, I need to say margin bottom 30 pixels. Okay, so I'm giving a bottom margin of 30 pixels. There you go. Everything is done. but you can't see any of it right now because, well, it's not yet visible. But let me try selecting it. Okay, you can see here there is a space between these two, and then you don't know how much space there is between the canvases and the result because, well, that's invisible as well. So let's design all of those in the next lectures. See you there.